Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode one, season one of the Wicked Damiano podcast. On today's podcast, we're going to be talking about, as you can tell from the title, what is an EV? Now, I know a lot of you have seen EVs on the road, and I know you keep thinking, a lot of you guys a lot of my viewers keep thinking that they are hybrids, and we're not. We're all electric. That's why you see from the title, what is an EV? We're going to go over that right now. What an EV is, it's an all electric. It has an electric motor. It has a battery pack, like you might see, like in a Power Wheel. It's similar to a Power Wheel. I mean, some of you had Power Wheel as a kid. Well, that's how the EVs all they they look like a Power Wheel, but full size, because they have the battery pack, and we run strictly off of batteries. We have the battery pack that's underneath that runs, motors, or our motor, which is the electric motor. We have no gas, no gas or nothing. It's just strictly all electric. We have the 12-volt battery that's in the hood that powers our all of our dash, it powers our headlights, radio, basically a heat, air conditioning, all of our essentials inside the cab, inside the cab of the car, inside the cabin, and our main battery pack underneath, that's huge. That but that powers the motor. That gives it its thrust. It gives it powers the wheels. So yeah, I just want to clarify that we are not gas. We don't have the same capabilities like gas powered car can. We have to charge up. We can't go. We can. I mean, it depends on how your charge up. We can go. You figure I can go all the way from here out to Sandusky County on one charge. Since I go up to White Sox Corey, a lot, so I drive up there with it. So I actually took it up there last year when I first bought it. I actually took it up there, um, and it made it. A lot of people think we're crazy doing that, but you know, some people thinking that, oh, but why don't you figure one out? One low on charge. They are pretty good on charge. If you charge them up to like see, I charge mine up to 100. So I charge mine to 100% when I go on trips. So now is the time when if you have any questions about them, we can do a live chat down on the bottom there. We can do them down. You can do them down there. Um, so if you have any questions, feel free to answer. To ask them down in the live chat here. So if you have any questions about them, I mean, but actually they really save. They really save. You know, I mean, a lot of money, because we don't have to worry about no gas form. We can just, I'm basically, we can just go. I mean, we can go quite a ways without having to worry about putting gas. I mean, because we only plug in, so we have no gas. So a lot of you, I may think that, but I mean, oops, sorry about that. But but yeah, we have no gas. We don't use no gas form. We're strictly all electric, and they save a lot of money on that. I mean, it's basically just, like I said, it has an electric motor. It's powered by a battery pack, which we'll go over some more of it too in episode 2, 3, and 4. Coming up um, of season one. Yeah, of season one here. So basically, if anybody has any questions on EVs, why they call it EVs. I mean, I just started getting them. I got one last year, and it is awesome. It saves on. It saves me a lot of money because I ain't got to worry about going to the gas station. I don't have to worry about running out of gas because I'm all electric now. Now the cost of it, though, the cost of it to repair, to, that is that's where it will hurt. That's where it will hurt because the cost to repair 'em can be a pretty penny. Because I know for a new battery pack, it can range anywhere from $2,000 on up. So yeah. It's. But oh yeah, and by the way, EVs are. The reason why EVs blow up sometimes is because they may have something wrong with the plug. Like right now, I'm having some issues with mine because I might have to have my electrician come back out and put in some larger wire, larger wire, because one that's in there now ain't working. So when you have trouble with your EV, that's why they catch fire. It's not that they catch fire because they don't. Just that if something goes wrong and your car's trying to tell you something, listen to your car when it's trying to tell you something by beeping or by any sounds that it's making. If it's not holding the charge, or if something's wrong, if the charger, check your outlet on your level 2, level 3, whatever you have. Make sure you check that because it could be getting hot. My breaker over here got, it gets hot, and then that trips the car outside. It trips it to start beeping, so that alerts me when something's going wrong with it, and I automatically take action. But I've seen a lot of times catch fire, and they blame the car for it. Like they blame. I've seen a couple of Teslas catch fire, and they blame the manufacturer for it. And it's like it's not them. It's not the manufacturer. It's the owner of the car, because you have to see our EVs. We have to maintain, and we have to keep. We have to maintain them by making sure the plugs, the outlets working correctly. Make sure everything's working right, because you don't. Because a lot of times they will try to blame the manufacturer for it, saying, "Well, oh, I got this EV, and it's. They're pretty much, don't buy one of them because they are a time bomb." That's not true. That's not true. They are cost efficient. They are. They help. They help the environment. They don't have no pollution. They actually help the environment. California went with them, and the emissions are down. Their pollution has dropped significantly since they got them, since they got the EV, since they mandated the EVs. They have dropped. Their emissions have dropped significantly. They are good. They're going good since they got them. But yeah, EVs are. They are I mean, of fishing. I mean, they'll save you a lot of money. They will save you a lot of money. I mean, plus they're very low maintenance. They're not really. I mean, the only thing you have to do on EV, especially the Equinox EV, is you basically just have to put your windshield washer fluid in and the power steering fluid. Well, it's basically lubricants the gears. It's not like typical transmission fluid you see in the combustion engine. And we'll go over that. We have that episode coming up in episode 4 of season 1 here on the podcast on EVs. Are EVs better than a combustion engine? And that we can get to that one in episode 4 on here on the podcast here. So we'll get that one coming up on Friday. Let's see, let me pull it up here. It'll be on Friday the 13th. We'll get to episode 4 of season 1 here on the podcast. We'll get to that one on 13th. But for right now, we're talking about what is an EV, and EVs, we're not hybrid, and so a lot of times I get asked, oh, is that is that EV, or is that gas, or is that a hybrid? And no, we're not. We're not either. We're not hybrid, or we're not gas. We are all electric. And yes, I am an SUV, but I'm the compact version of the SUV. They decided when they built these Equinoxes, maybe I had one that was a gas one. I had one that was a combustion engine, and that one was a lot taller. But since they build these, the EVs, Chevy decided to make them more compact, and they decided to make them more. They decided to make them more easy to drive. So, yeah, and make it more easier to drive and stuff. Because a lot of people complained before about them being too big. Too big, and yeah, and the thing is, and what I like about the EVs is we don't have to have no aims test, none of that. We don't have to worry about none of that. But now when you go to get the plates though for them, to get them registered, that I just got mine done recently, and I had to pay $300 $300. And then when I go to get them renewed on my birthday in October, I'm gonna have to pay $600 for them. They get you coming and going. They get you coming and going on that. But that's how they get you, because you don't have no aims test with it. You don't, but you don't get gas no more. And the only time I go in the gas station is if I want to buy something, be it something, being like a snack or something, or pop or something. That's when I go in there and to do it. But yeah, it's basically cheaper than the combustion engine, because you're really saving money. And we'll get to what does it take to charge it in episode 2 of season 1 here on the podcast. We'll get that one in another episode. We'll get to that one on, let's see. We will get to that one on See, on episode 2 would be on Tuesday would be season. It'll be episode 2 of season 1 here on the podcast. It'll be Tuesday for episode 2, and that would entitle. That would title, "What does it take to charge a EV?" What on what you need to charge, what you need to charge it. So yeah, that would be on. Wait, should I? Yeah, that would be, yep, that would be episode 2 of season 1 here on the podcast. So so um so nice. So yeah, that would be on Tuesday. That'd be on Tuesday, March 10th. Would be episode 2 of season 1 here on the podcast. That would be on Tuesday the 10th. Yep. And then I'll be doing it again. On actually Tuesday and Wednesday. Tuesday would be the same time, 7 o'clock. On Wednesday, we will do one at 10 p.m. because I have, and that's on the 11th. So yeah, that's on the 11th. So, yep. So if anybody's down live chat, but yeah, but again, EV is just all electric. We're on a hybrid. So hopefully I answer some of your questions on that, on what an EV is. And that's why I call it EV, because it's an electric vehicle. But are they, cost efficient? Yeah, because gas and the range. You have. I can go over 300 miles when I charge to 100. So that's pretty good. I can go all the way at the right side back on one charge, and it's pretty good on that. So I just, so if anybody has any questions or comments or that, you put them in live chat. I just want to see if that was working there. Yeah, it is. Yep, that's working. Hi there, scuba diving. How are you? But yeah, I just want to see how that would do, and I got one, and all I was doing was getting some information on it, and then one thing led to another. Chevy, yeah, our call out's like, well, we can see if we can get you finance for it, and I did. So I got my first new car. It's 2025 Chevy Equinox EV. My first one ever. It's cool. It's real cool, and yeah. But yeah, so that's why I said when I was doing I'm trying to find what to do. I was find out what to do on my podcast. I decided, you know what? Why not just talk about the EV for season one, episode one. It's going to be a four-part series, so that's why we're breaking it up into the episodes. It's going to be a four-part series because there's a lot to cover in there. So that's why we're going over that. That's why we're going over that, and that, because there's a lot to cover in that. So that way, yep. So just so if you have any questions, feel free, that's why I'm doing it a live broadcast. So you have any questions, you can put them in live chat in that, and it's cool. They're really, really cool. They're good. But I would say that no mechanic will. You can't really find a mechanic that can work on them. So they have to go back to the dealer to get worked on, and they have to have the special order tires. The tires on an EV is similar to a Chevy Corvette ZR6. It's very similar to them. So you have to go back to the car lot to get it worked on. Walmart's got the same kind of tires, but for us, we have to go back to the car lot because they need to. I'm gonna get special order. Special order them because I guess they have to fit exactly to the car. I guess you just can't put on any tire on it that you want because they are much different than a combustion engine. Because on a combustion engine, you can just go ahead and you just go ahead and go up to Walmart and stuff like that to get tires, and you can put them on there. Not like I used to. Personally, I used to do that. Personally, I used to go up to Walmart to get them. But now that I got my new car here, I can't really do that. I have to really go back to the car lot to do it because I really go back to the car lot to do that. I can't really, do. Basically, I really cannot go to like the Walmart or stuff like that because ours is special order. Ours is special. I guess like specially made tire that will fit that vehicle. So that's what I'm saying. That's why we have to, do that. We have to go to back to the car line to have anything done on it. But they do. Well, my EV has the heated seats. Heated steering wheel. I have the cameras all the way around. I've got the cameras in the back. I've got two. I've got like one, one on the like two on the bumper. I've got one just above the plate, and I have another one on. I'm gonna have the side view, which is my lane assist. I have my cameras in the front, cameras in the back. My mirrors have them on both mirrors on the cameras, and it does work. It does work because it saved me a couple of times. It does do it. That forward collision does work. It does work, and it's really cool. I'm so glad it's in there. I'm so glad I have that feature in there. I've got cameras all the way around, so they alert me too when somebody's walking behind me. When I see somebody behind me, yeah. But feel free to interact. Down in the live chat, feel free to interact. Feel free to, if you have any questions, put them down here in the live chat while we're live here. Put them in live chat, and I'd be happy to answer them on air. So, I'll be happy to answer them on air here. So, if you have any questions or comments about the EV, they are much fun. But they don't drive like a combustion engine though. They do not drive like a convention and a combustion engine. They drive totally different than a combustion engine. They have more horsepower, and yeah, my Chevy Equinox EV has the horsepower. So, if anybody says they don't, then there might be something wrong with the EV, because my EV has power. I can just tap the gas pedal, and it just, it just takes off. It doesn't. It doesn't strain. I can go 0 to 60 or under 2 minutes. Not even. I can. I can go from 0 to 60 like that. And normally with the combustion engine, you'd be sitting there just going, and then by the time you get to where you're trying to get up to to the speed, it's already time to slow down. But with the EV, you hit the gas pedal and they just take off. I can get off the line quicker than a combustion engine. So yeah, I can get off the line quicker than a combustion engine, and it's really cool. But yeah, and I don't listen to the ones that say, oh, they're a piece of junk, or they tend to blow up. No, that's not true. They only do that if there's something wrong. If there's something wrong with them, then yeah, then they will. But if you take care of it, and you have to precondition it during the winter months, you gotta make sure it's preconditioned. So yeah, you have to make sure they're preconditioned during the winter months to help keep the batteries warm. And they are good in the winter. They are good in the winter if you precondition them. So yeah, they are good in the winter. But you have to make sure you precondition them though, because if you don't, then you have some issues. Because that's why a lot of you I watch videos, and a lot of you say that oh, I got this EV and it's junk in the winter. That's because you didn't do the research. You didn't do the research on how to precondition them. You didn't bother to ask whoever has an EV if they what the opinion is, or you didn't bother to ask. All you did is just bash them, and that's not cool. Don't go bash don't go bashing them, and don't go blaming the manufacturer if something happens, because that's the owner's fault of the vehicles. That's the owner's fault, because you have to make sure that you have to make sure you precondition it in the winter. You have to stay up on top of the maintenance. You have to. They're just like they're just like an infant. They're just like a baby. You have to take care of them. You have to take care of them. You have to take care of them, and you have to maintenance on them. You have the maintenance on them. You have to, um, yeah. So you have to do all that on them, because if you don't, then you're gonna run into some issues that you don't want. So that's why I always stay on top of mine, and I always stay. Um, I mean, I just took mine in recently, yesterday for that. Oh yeah, and for the recall, I took mine in yesterday for that, thinking it'd be the owner's manual, and that didn't even exist. What the recall was on was for the AC the AC hose, that that could potentially leak. But mine was fine. Mine was fine. Mine didn't have any problems like that. Mine was fine. Yeah, I mean, but again, if you maintain them, yeah, yeah. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, I was you're doing a text, but anyway, but you have to. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot that goes into the EVs than just. I mean, they don't. But I mean, they don't. They're not like a normal. I mean, they're not like a normal car. They we one totally different than a combustion engine. I mean, there's a lot more things we have to do on it than just. I mean, like going, doing some errands, coming home, parking it, and then that's it. We still have to plug it in. We still have to do all that, and I'll get to that one on what does it take to charge it on Tuesday the 10th. I'll get to it on Tuesday, next episode, which is episode 2, on that. And in episode 3 will be, can you start with a level 1 and that one, or do I need a level 2 charging station? And we'll get to that one on Wednesday, episode 2 and 3. Episode 2 will be on Tuesday, episode 3 will be on Wednesday. So we will get to that one on Wednesday. We'll cover that one on Wednesday. We'll cover what does it take to charge an EV. What kind of what kind of charging plug you need. But that one we'll cover that one on Tuesday. We'll cover that one on Tuesday the 10th. So we but yeah. So we will cover that one on Tuesday on that portion. So that's about all. We still can go a few more. But yeah, I mean, for my second EV, I'm gonna be. I want is the Chevy Silverado EV. That's my next vehicle. I'm gonna be my second one that I want to get. But I mean, I just I figure this be a good podcast to cover to explain what it is, so that way you guys know that when you see them, and usually typically the EVs will have the battery as the E. So instead of a typical Equinox with the E, the EV will have the lines. They will have like the battery like this. So the typical E would be like, see, if it was like a combustion engine, it would be like this. It'd be like that. Here, like this. That'd be the typical E. There's a normal straight E, but the EV. See, they didn't have. We didn't have them. We didn't have them as just normal. They decided for the EVs not to put it like this, the normal E, because in that way you can see they did not put it like that because they will confuse the EVs with the combustion engine. Because if they see this, they're going to assume that it's runs off of gas. So that's why they decided to make it. They decided to take it and make it like this. I can make it close together though. That's too far apart. They could go like this. This is the. If you see this symbol, then if you see this symbol as the E on the Equinox, if you see this symbol, then this will indicate that it's an EV. See, I mean, basically they didn't. Well, I mean, some of them put. I know out on the car show, and I saw a couple of them that had like like title, for instance, shows like the title on my from the title you can see from the title shows EV, and that's basically I've seen that down at the car show. I've seen that with the EV. But basically they put it like this though. They put it like that, and they're showing you. They put it like that. So in that way, they can identify this from the normal, this from this, from the normal either. Because in that way they can determine that from that. But that's why we do it. That's why we do it. That's why we do that. So then that way That way we don't get confused with that. Um, that that just about wraps up for episode 1 of season 1 on the Ricky Damiano podcast. I'm your host. Ricky Damiano. And this so that just about wraps it up for episode 1 here on the podcast. Here on episode 1, season 1 here on the Ricky Damiano podcast. So tune in next time. So the next time we do it will be on Tuesday. When we do a podcast, it'll be on March 10th, and that'll be episode 2. That'll be season 1, episode 2, right here on the podcast. That'll be the next episode we do, episode 2 of season 1 here on the podcast. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on those post notifications, so that way you don't miss season 1, episode 2 next week on the 10th. This will be episode 2 of the very first season here on the Ricky Damiano podcast. So until next time, I will see you on Tuesday, March 10th at 7 p.m. right here on the Ricky Damiano podcast. Until next time, stay safe out there, everyone. Bye.